All right. We can keep talking about all these random subjects. I don't care. I am going to keep going a little bit because I do want to sim one more season tonight. Might not be the longest stream in the world. I do have another Sports Gamer broadcast tomorrow afternoon. Shout out to Brent Burns. Much like Sin, fits in to Finland perfectly. You could say Brent Burns could change his name, whatever. He'd be good to go. He'd be good to go. Tara Hartikainen signs, which is good. Juuso Parssinen, Markkinen, Joni Jurmo, we don't know yet. Hirvinen's on. Pihittia, Vasainen, which is beautiful. Nighthawk, what's up? Night is going well. Hey, we did steal Joni Jurmo back, which is good. Very, very good. Welcome back, Mr. Jurmo, for the second time. We just keep hot potatoing him back and forth. But, you know, it's a good time. Yeah, Nighthawk, it's been good. We won a Calder Cup, which is great. And not too much else from there. Now, there is something. I still don't think we've seen the road jerseys. I still don't think we've seen the road jerseys in action. But I do hope that the numbering is as visible as I want it to be. It might not be. And again, big fan of the coat of arms themed jersey. Big fan. I'm going to have to wear those at some point too. I was at a Rush event for the 40th anniversary of Signals tonight with my parents. That is interesting. Define event. That's my question. Define event. Trade Jurmo back to get him back on half salary. That is the way. That is the way. But yeah, this offseason, we're not going to have much to do. It's just Hamasalmi that we're waiting for. But he will be a relatively cheap signing no matter what. Event, a concert. Well, that's the thing, though. I don't think they're playing concerts anymore, right? Didn't Rush retire last year? I could have sworn it was, unless it's this year that they're retiring, but I could have sworn they retired last year. Old Getty and Company. They're like Iron Maiden, so does Kiss. That's fair. Mr. Hamasalmi. Let's go 3 years. See if we can get you signed for 3 years. I might be in New England in September. Hey, smooth. Where in New England, though? That's crucial. That's crucial. Avoid Connecticut like the plague. A listening session at the theater here now. Ooh, that does sound pretty fun. It does sound pretty fun. What's so special about the Taylor Swift Eras Tour? It's Taylor fucking Swift. That's what's special about it. Jesus Christ. Ooh, you would go to Salem to see spooky shit. There's nothing even spooky. Half the shit they said happened didn't even happen. Well, here's the gallows where they hung a couple of people, and here's that one spot where they crushed the dude with the rocks. That's it. Other than that, but you know what, dude, I'd rather go to the fucking location of fucking Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost than go to Salem. At least spooky shit actually happened there. The guy was a motherfucking warlock. It was dope. Anyway, what's wrong about Connecticut? We just like to make fun of Connecticut, you know. Tickets at MetLife for Taylor Swift concert, we're going for $2,000 each. I wouldn't pay any amount of money, $2,000 for any band on Earth. It just wouldn't happen. It's spooky if you're a witch. Have you ever crushed a dude with rocks? Unless you're talking about these rock hard thighs. No, I have not. Anyway, we should probably sign another goalie really quickly. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another goalie. I believe Ville Husso will be gone. I didn't really feel like spending that amount of money. Okay, we do have Mr. Oskari Salminen. So Oskari, welcome aboard. Bring you in for the year. And Juha Iatkola. Tugi has leg day. I fucking maxed out the bench, the fucking leg press in high school. I scored 4 touchdowns in a game. I did not. I've talked about the nepotism that ran wild through my my middle school and high school football teams. Didn't stick around on those teams for long. Did I bowl a 300? No, I fucking suck at bowling. I suck at bowling. Outright trash garbage at bowling. All right. So really quickly, goalie-wise, Saros and Lankinen. Can you do it on a rainy day in Stoke? Can anybody? Can anybody? All right, let's call up Salmonen to be the backup. Third string. Defense. We do have to call up Mr. Hamasami. I can send down those two for the moment. This defense is looking good. It is, it is. We got a couple of 25-year-olds in the mix. Rajniemi is the high 7th. You can be the healthy scratch. The defense is looking damn good. Kakko, Laine, Kamel, Koivunen. Just a practice mode in NHL 23, and I forgot how to score goals. Hold to the right. Slowly rotate the stick and flick up. And you'll pick a corner. I just do backhand, forehand, and it goes in. So whatever. That's the way to do it. That's the way. We could have Koivunen on the 4th line this year. He's serviceable. Ideally, I'd want someone better. Texola's 25. Kamel might actually... He didn't really improve. He'd be in the AHL, so Texola's 25. We'll drop Koivunen. We'll still play Kamel on the 3rd line. Deke needs beer to play Chell. He does. Pettinen went down a point. Interesting. We do have a choice to make. Hirvonen, we're not trying to develop. So we can still go Pettinen, Järventie, Lehkonen, Tolvanen. Järventie hasn't gotten any better, really, which is a bit concerning. And Aho... Haltonen has stepped up and is now as good as Ratu. Interesting. That's okay. We also have a couple of players who aren't quite developing as we would have wanted. Brad Lambert has still not broken through to that next level. Which means if he has decent value, it might be worth moving on from him sooner rather than later. There, surprise, surprise, to start another season might be a big deal in the making here. There might be. Aho, Ratu, Haltonen, we could get rid of... So Ratu has more value, but it's because he has abilities. Could cash out on Kapanen because he's not going to get any better than bottom 6, and he has a little bit of value. Same for Lambert. These two guys aren't really going to be much, so why not just run like Parsonen in the bottom 6? It's the worst concert you've been to in terms of music. I've never really been to a bad concert. I've lucked out. Haltonen can play the right side. Okay, Laine is right wing left leg. Pettinen's a second liner. Again, it's like, do we move on from Kamel? Because he's not going to get much better. But then again, what's the point of cashing out on these guys value-wise? They're at least younger. It's like the alternative is trade Järventie for draft picks. And then bring back someone like Teuvo Teravainen to fill in and hope that we end up with better prospects. Muted, what's going on? It's been a little bit. I hope you've been good. God, what do we do? What do we do? So we know that Calgary... whoops, on centers only. So Calgary still has Hellenis, who's getting better and better. Could pick this guy up to be second line right wing. Dallas, of course, has Heiskanen, Roope, Hintz, which those are really tough acquisitions. Busy with work. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. There's the Lundell pickup. Sorry, I'm just a little bit focused in at the moment. How good's Satanen? Still pretty good for a third liner. Again, the physicality this guy brings is nuts. What do we want this team to be? What do we want this team to be? So it's Aho. I gotta do like a full like depth chart run through here. So either Halttunen at center or Halttunen at right wing, which means Ratu would have to play center, which could be done. That does leave probably Kapanen, and then honestly probably call up Lambert just to try to get him to develop. I mean, he can play the right. Parsonen's going to be depth. Left wing side, we already know it's probably going to be like Laine, Pettinen, Lehkonen. Lehkonen might have to play the right so that Järventie can play. We have ended up in a really freaking weird spot where it's like, how do we already have this many question marks? And then right wing side is Capo Caco. We have too many players. We have too many damn players. What are we gonna do? Especially now that we have Patrick Laine. Joakim Kamel. 22 years old, only an 81. It probably is worth moving on from Kamel. It probably is. Järventie as well isn't getting any better. Already so close to the finish line. Oh, Muted, this has been the run for you. You're behind on all these puns. You're behind. If we use some of these players, so the biggest Finns that are out there right now, it's like Barkov, Heiskanen, Rantanen, Hintz, Lundell, because you can't search by nationality. I think we're right back to the Lundell question. How did he do last year? 53 points, had 67 the year before. How was Ratu done? $47. Ratu's really more of the traditional middle six center. Lundell would be an improvement. Polly, what's up? Got no idea. Might be able to pull off this trade with Florida. Again, Halttunen needs to be in the top 6. So if he's not playing center, he's got to be on the right, which means Laine is the left wing, which means Järventie is definitely out. So we could use Järventie. And if you keep Ratu, but really you can't. So this would move Halttunen to the wing. It'd be Kakko, Halttunen, Kamel. Left wing, Laine, Pettinen, Lehkonen, Tolvanen on the 4th. So if we use Ratu and Järventie together, we can go after Anton Lundell. This on its own might not even be enough. And again, there's the super big name Finns that I definitely cannot afford to get right now. Let's safety net this really quickly. How close is this? Take out a second. So Lundell and 2/3 for Järventie and Ratu? No. Take out another third. How about straight up? Fuck. Yeah, as expected, this is going to be expensive. This is going to be expensive. We do have that goalie to use, if need be. Could also use Joachim Kamel, because we're not expecting him to really develop and get that much better. Same with Brad Lambert. What if we also use Brad Lambert in this deal? Like, we're setting up to move on from certain prospects I wasn't expecting to move on from, but their development hasn't been too crazy. Pop Smoke, what's going on? It's because we're already kind of transitioning the team to being ready to compete. Take out the second. Järventie, Ratu, Lambert for Lundell. All right, yeah, Lundell is pretty much untouchable then. I have no idea what the hell we're going to do here. This is a little bit rough. Sola, Kamel, Koivunen can play in the minors. That's fine. Hirvonen, I'm not worried about developing at all. And it's like, do we just wait with Brad Lambert? I guess we could. So let's see. Decent song, don't want it. So it would be Laineaho Kako. Yeah, Järventie ends up on that lower line. But again, Halttunen needs to be on that higher line. All right. And Kamel can be sent down to the AHL, but at that point, it's like, well, shit, why do we keep him and not just trade him out? So we need a center. That's going to be Brad Lambert, who probably gets the chance here. Play Brad Lambert on a higher line. Kapanen can play the fourth line. That's looking okay still. That's actually looking pretty good. There's a good amount of depth in there. And obviously we have the high-end talent at the top. Because other trades are going to be pretty difficult. Thompson and Kivy are not a good pairing. Thompson's not going to get that much better, though. All right, Kivy's not a good fit for that second pair. Heinola's not going to get much better. So it could be Kivy Harjuhanka, Heinola Heimasami, Lundell Thompson, which sucked last year. That's still a pretty damn good defense. It's just a shame that Heinola and Kivy Harju are both lefty. And Saros in goal. It's not the perfect solution, but it is a solution. It's just, do we trade away certain players for the value that they provide? We're going to have Parssinen be the healthy scratch. Like, the AHL team should be phenomenal, because, I mean, Jesus, we sent down Joachim Kamel. It's probably going to be another Calder Cup. Like, 2 straight finals, conference finals appearance. We won the Calder Cup last year. The team's going to be gross, but it's kind of like the make or break time for Brad Lambert. I think maybe we give it a shot at the start of the year. Instead of trading away those assets now, because again, you never know when the AI is going to be like, ah, fuck it, let's trade Sasha Barkov for no reason, and we can gladly take advantage of that. It's going to give Vinny some game time this year. The defense. Wow, Martikainen got much better. Defense still looks pretty damn good, though. Not sure what the coaches are going to be, but I think we just run it back again with the addition of frickin' Patrick Laine. And Arturi Lehkonen, which is hilarious. So our staff. Fritsch, you thought you were leaving. I fucking lied. Back to Finland. What a terrible punishment. Back to the greatest country on earth. What a terrible punishment. All right. And for coaching staff. We are going to have to double check this. And again, Burns, Giordano, Pavelski in the AHL to try to get them to be a little bit better. So best lines. Let's do all of the re-swaps. So that's what we're going for. We'll have top liner, Laine. There we go. Better. And then AHL, honestly, let's do this really quickly too. Yermo could be on a higher pair, but it doesn't really matter. You got anything half decent here? Yeah, not really. Outside of like sorting by age, that's about it. Cool. And then for the forwards, Haminaho, Hartikainen. Oh, we actually have some half-decent players that are scratched. Do we want that? Do we want that? We got a bunch of medium 9s. Lowest one is Jukka Nieminen. Nikinen is a medium 9 at 25. So he's not going to get that much better, but he is a good player. Haminaho's 21. All right, let's just bring in Haminaho. So we got all the medium 9s. We're going to have a shatload of high 9s. A shatload. Mel's a medium 6. Sharventi's a high 9. All right. All right. What is the best way out of that? There it is. Beautiful. So just to get us set up really quickly. And this way we can go off of scheme fit for the coaches. That's actually perfect. AHL team is pretty good. AHL team is pretty damn good. NHL team is pretty damn good. I would expect this to be the first year that the NHL club makes the playoffs. It really should be. So Colombe is our current head coach. He is a 58% scheme fit. Bourdon is a 52. Sawatsky is a 64. Winkler is a 66. So say hello to our new head coach, Tyson Winkler. You can stay as the power play coach. You can stay as the PK coach. Sweet. So Colombe, you're getting demoted to AHL head coach. Maybe, unless I want to give that to Joe. You know what? Screw it. You can be the goalie coach. Joe Pavelski, NHL head coach. We'll have Gio as the assistant, Burns as the associate. Let's just get an AHL head coach. So the AHL team might suck this year because we're trying to train up the real life retirees to actually be good coaches that actually benefited us quite well in our Toronto franchise not all that long ago. And again, scouting's good, so we are good to go. So line chem, oof. At least the defense looks a little bit better. All right, well, we can make that switch now of Heine Lahanka. Yeah, Heine Lahanka, Kiviharju Heimasami. When's the last time I saw a franchise goalie drafted in the first round? It's rare. It is very rare. I don't even remember the last time. So that is how rare it is. All right, I think we're good. So again, time to check the draft class. And there is a Finn in the top 3. Center Markku Seppänen. Okay. So we're going to be a little bit safe. Play it a little bit safe with this pick. Because again, we should be in playoff contention this season. We really should be. So we'll see what our ratings are at the start of the year. Casper Halttunen was apparently roughed up. He's good to go. I'm going to trust the power play lines and everything are good to go. I'd hope the game wouldn't screw me on that, but we saw how they look half the time. So we start off our season against Washington. I do want to see what our overall ratings are here. I got to take myself off screen. So 86, 83, 92. Obviously the best we've ever looked. Also, Jack Eichel is on Washington. So that's something. This could be a special year for us, or we could miss out on the playoffs again. But as mentioned, it's a win-win, as Tuukka Teksola already gets hurt. If we were to miss out on the playoffs, we get a lottery pick in a year where there's a Finn projected top 5. If we make the playoffs, cool. That's kind of the goal, isn't it? So we are in a true win-win scenario, regardless of how this season plays out. So Yermo got hurt. We'll bring him back in. Yeah, I know some people are bothered by injuries. I really genuinely don't mind having them on. Adds a little bit to sim time and stuff like that, but it's not a big deal. It can benefit us in the playoffs. It can harm us. Let's go to December 1st, as we do. We're only 5-4-0. It's actually a worse start than what we had last season, despite us having a better team. But we do still have potential trades for Anton Lundell on Florida, who we're playing this week. And we got crushed by. Still some big name Finns out there to keep our eyes out for. But 12, make that 13, 8, and 2. As of December 1st, currently in a playoff spot. Very similar situation to what we had last year, where we were actually doing all right. Aho's doing pretty good. Ratu and Halttunen. Halttunen's actually been disappointing. No goals for Ratu, by the way. Brad Lambert has been tragic. And is waiver eligible. Pettinen just 13 points. Tolvanen actually scoring. Järventti's been okay. They're flat out. There are some guys I have to get rid of. They're not going to develop beyond what they are. Laine's been fantastic. There are some players who have to go now before their value drops. Kiviharju and Honka have also been disappointing. 5 goals, no assists for Esa Lundell. And yeah, Saros has been insane. There are certain players who have to go. Even if we can't trade them for someone who's already out there, we got no choice. So Calgary, we'll still be looking at Hellenis if we can. Obviously, Dallas has Heiskanen and Hintz, as unlikely as that is. It just always seems to come back to Anton Lundell, who is not exactly crushing it this season. And again, Colorado, I'm sure, yeah, they're not trying to trade Mikko Rantanen, as delightful as that would be. But looking here on the wing, Kakko and Laine. Kamel's in the AHL, doing very well, but it's almost a waste of value to have him there. Järventti has to go before that value drops. No question. Lambert as well. Honestly, you could argue Kapanen too. Yeah. So unfortunately, there are some of these younger guys who just aren't going to develop. Kapanen, Lambert, Järventti. Joachim Kamel. Move on from these guys before their value plummets. Question is it Helenius on the right? Again, Laine would play the left. So it'd be Laine, Pettinen, Lehkonen, Kakko, Helenius, probably Koivunen? Or no, it would be Kakko, Halton, and Helenius. It honestly doesn't matter because Halton can play the wing. So it's either this guy here, form of Consta Helenius. 7 points in 23 games so far this season. Roope, 25 points in 23 games. I know he's a little bit older, man, but Hintz he's a beast. Or Lundell. Did we go for Roope Hintz instead? He has about the same value now because he's 30. He's a beast, man. I think we go for the veteran here. I mean, Lundell has had 50, 60 point seasons. Can also play the PK. Can't hit worth a damn. Probably should target the younger player first, but there's something about the idea of Roope Hintz playing with like Pettinen, who has tape to tape. Dallas has the space. Does Florida? Notification was almost 2.5 hours late. Again, Twitter and Discord. That's why I always put it out there that I'm streaming on those platforms as well. I think we go for Roope Hintz. I think we do. And again, it's a lot to give up, but none of these guys are really making an impact at the NHL level. We get rid of them now before their value drops. And we can safety net this. We take out the second next year. Lambert, Kapanen, Järventie, Kamel for Hintz. A second and 2/3? What about a second and a third? What about just a second? And what about the 2/3 this year? 1/3. Straight up. Let's go see if Florida will take the Lundell deal straight up. No. Fuck. It's a lot to give up. I still have that goalie in my back pocket. If we really want that value to work itself out. Honestly, we could trade Emil Järventie as well. To trade both the Järventie brothers. That's still not enough. Alright, we do have extra picks this year. What about our third? Is that enough to push it over? What about our own second? Because they don't want to trade him, it's going to take that goalie. And even then, I don't know if it'll work. But we'll have Roope Hintz for the rest of his prime. Eskalainen. Try to recoup a little bit back here. Again, add these draft picks back. See where we're at. Take out that extra second. Take out a third. Son of a bitch, there's no way. Lambert, Kapanen, Järventie, Kamel, Eskalainen for Hintz, a third, or 2/3, I should say, this year. Over to Florida. Will they take this for Lundell? Florida will do the Lundell trade. All right, it's going to be Anton Lundell. Finally coming home. Fair enough. I would have preferred Hintz, but we're going to try to get as much back as we can along with the deal. Second and 2/3. A second and a third. Second and a fourth? Just the second? Okay. So I believe it was Lundell and 2/3. Can I add 2/4? No, I can't. What if I take out a fourth? Lambert, Kapanen, Järventie, Kamel, Eskalainen for Lundell and 2/3. It's a lot to give up from our perspective, but at the same time, it's really not because they're just not going to make it. And yeah, literally, that's it. We're doing it. Let's pull the trigger on it. Anton Lundell, huge acquisition for us. How about Järventie? Been shockingly bad. I wouldn't trade him otherwise. So Lundell is here now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I do still need 2 call-ups. We obviously have options. So it's Aho. Oh, Ratty. I mean, Lundell's not going to get that much better. Honestly, I have defensemen on the roster, so let's just see. If we go best lines. It sucks to drop Ratu down to the 3rd line, but how much better is he honestly going to get? I mean, obviously a bunch of different combinations here. Haltonen hasn't quite been ready for the 3rd line. The other option is this, which I also don't hate. Lundell, Aho, Kakko, Pettinen, Ratu, Laine, and then Pettinen and Laine should work very well together. We just need a proper left wing. I think we're going to have to experiment around a little bit. But obviously, overall-wise, it's going to look weaker. But at the same time, they were just players where it made sense to just get rid of them. Like I said, their values were only going to drop at that point. That was the time to move on and get rid of them. So let's go best lines again. I'm still not entirely sure that this is what I want to do. That 4th line doesn't quite work out as well as I wanted. That top 6, I mean, looks pretty damn good. Even playing Lundell on the wing. What if we go Heinola, Hamasami, Kiviharju, Honka? Just to mix up the defense a little bit. Lassie Thompson, Essa Lundell, they really don't work that well together. I think we're good for the moment. Again, bottom 6 takes a bit of a hit, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just we have to play Haltonen on a line that I don't want to play him on. For the sake of proper development at only 21. Oh, it's just he's not putting up points. Ratu still has a chance to get a little bit better. Could put Ratu on that 3rd line. He's with Lehkonen, he'd have people to work with. That'd be a really tough defensive line. Maybe we try that. I mean, Haltonen playing next to Patrick Laine. If you can't put up points next to Patrick Laine in a Finnish jersey, then what the hell are you even here for? Let's go with Aku Ratu as our healthy scratch as well. We went from having the Järventie brothers, let's have the Ratus. And there we're pretty much good to go. I don't think there's anybody I have to take out of the lineup. Our depth took a little bit of a hit. Who sucks? You suck. Who sucks on this line? You suck on this line. There we go. AHL is looking good. NHL is looking good. Just gonna make sure that Mr. Vini gets some games. Is auto rotate off? Emil has not seen the ice so far. That's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. But yeah, now that we have Patrick Laine, we gotta push. Gotta push for the playoffs.